Yeah, that's right guys, another cabbie video. It's a nice steady wave on this one. Quick apology first, so we'll have to make an apology we all. I got the spot welder out and we got the floors in, but I didn't show you it all. So either side we've got it spot welded. We've stopped here because we're going to change this rear quarter, so we've spot welded up to here. Same on the other side. So really chuffed about that. That's the floor satin. These straps can come off now, obviously. Sorry, steel's got to stay for a bit yet, but these straps can come off. Right, last video we had a lot of cutting and a lot of shuffling. Obviously the floor's satin, it's welded, but there's still quite a bit to do. So this is the floor sticking out here. This here, behind this lot here, this is the inner wing, but this here is actually the part of reinforcement for the cabbie. So the floor will weld to that, and then the inner wing will go over and then weld to this floor lip, but it's just clearing enough inner wing out of the way so it can actually get the floor into its position where it wants to be. We've still got the welds to finish off at the bottom of the A posts, just where it hooks up to the A posts and the B posts. And then we can put the stiffener plates, reinforcement plates back in. It's a bit chilly tonight, so when I cut this, we'll be cutting this, obviously getting rid of the inner wing. The toe boards will be changed, but when we cut this inner wing out, obviously I've got to be careful with this reinforcement here, see where it runs up to, see how it finishes off. It's got surface rust, quite heavy in places, so whether I'll just change it out and get another section of steel, obviously to the same gauge, put that in. We need a piece because it wraps around and goes onto the inner sill of the floor, and also at the B post is a piece that goes in, so we need some of this gauge steel anyway. So if it's and it does look a bit shoddy, to be fair, so we might end up changing this out, see what it's like on the other side. I know this side was a bit worse for wear in comparison to the other side. It seemed like a lot of water ended up at this side. So now we've got the floor, we'll get these A's closed up, the A post closed up. It's just migged in, just the floor migged up to the A post, and then I can get some of this inner wing cut out of the way. And also I'm confident enough now we've got the floor and solid, we've got a cross member, it's held either side, so it should stop any movement lower down when I cut the toe board out, which we're just waiting for now. It's on order, so that's on its way, along with an inner wing for the other side. But we've got this inner wing here, so I can get part of this cut out, part of it dressed up, but I want to get the toe board in before I do the inner wing. Main reason is I want to get the spot weld so I can reach, so I should be able to reach the floor with the spot weld. I don't know if I'll be able to reach as far as the tunnel, but obviously with no inner wing here I can get the tongs right in, so I can spot weld quite a bit of it into place. Obviously it'll be limited to how much I'll be able to spot weld when it comes to it, but we've got a few different spot welding tongs. So we've got these are quite long, so if we're getting into this sort of area, this is getting us over to the transmission tunnel area. Whether it will with a machine, you won't be able to tell until we actually get there. Another side to it there. Also got a couple of these really long electrodes. So obviously for the long reach and into there, into the transmission tunnel area, we're going to have to make some up, but also with a shorter one I'm going to have to make something, 2 electrodes out of this and put an angle on them so the contact, so I'll put it on the floor so I'll show you how the contact works as opposed to waving my hands about. So they'll make the contact like that when they come together. So the problem we're having, well the problem I'm having at the minute with the spot welder is, if you can see where the tip is, when you come to a panel, if we go, we'll have a quick look at the rear quarter. So when you bring this down, we're not getting a lot of contact with the panel itself. A lot of wiggling around, and so what I was thinking with an angled tip, so if we can push that tip a little bit beyond the actual arm, it'll give us something like this sort of angle, which will give us plenty of clearance then, because we're going to need that obviously in a lot of areas where we get clearance. Closing panel to wings is prime area, but we'll have to make something else for that. So yeah, we've got them few arms there, and these ones here, so hopefully we should be able to reach just about everything, as long as we think about how we're doing it. Right, I'll move them out of the way in a minute. So yeah, so we're looking at next inner wings, these reinforcement sections here, like I say, getting the floor just finished off to the A's and the B's. We can also now look at getting our new box sections made up and get the box sections in. So I don't want to do the boot floor until I put the box sections in, because of the contact point with the heel board. It's just that the boot floor sticks out quite a way, so it just makes it awkward to get the reinforcement section in underneath and also welded. So it's the boot floor can wait until we've got these reinforcement sections in. Once I get the 2 long reinforcements that run from front to rear, I can then get the A's and the B's in. Once they're in, I'm pretty happy that the car's solid and we're more or less ready to cut the frame out, but I will leave a frame in until we get all the inner wings and the boot floor and everything, so we don't want anything moving. We've got the boot floor, there'll be new rear arches both sides obviously, but that'll have to wait. We've got some preparation work to do as well, just to the rear bulkhead. Hopefully there might be a couple of little repairs, but hopefully only small. A few bits of bracketry in the boot that we'll have to remove. Nothing to do with Cabriolet, it's just standard brackets which go to the rear of the bulkhead and to the rear of the arches. Right guys, so yeah, pretty chuffed. I think we've got a floor in. There's a few mods that we have to do to the floor light, but see if we can get this light under. Yeah, there's a couple of mods that we have to do with the floor. Just around this area here, we have to drill a hole. It's just a breather, and the same at the B post, and then there's a little fluted plate which welds over it. So there's that to be done, but we'll be waiting until all the structural stuff. That'll be one of the last things to be done. You see, we've shot some primer on. What I will be doing, because when I'm spot welding I'm not using any primer, I just want it metal to metal. It's how it's done in the factory. So what I'm doing afterwards, flooding the seams. So what I'll do, I'll tip the car over on its side, and I'll be just putting a load of primer in. I can see it starting to weep from the joints. Once I start to weep through joints, I know all the joints are flooded then. Same with well, all the other joints. I'll just flood them with primer. So I know that it's got a coat in between, because I don't trust weld through primers, not with the spot welder we've got. I don't mind if you're using something that's a high quality spot welder which costs a few grand, something that's approved for body repair, but the one we're using isn't, so you can't set the timing on them, you can't set the features so that you know you're getting proper penetration when you're welding through paint. So I'll keep it bare metal. Like I say, it's the same way they do in the factory, and then just make sure that well, it's the budget equivalent to having it dipped. Just make sure every joint's flooded and everything's primed that can be. Obviously when it's done, everything will get wax-hauled and treated, you know, so that'll all be good. Right guys, again, sorry for not showing you the welding of the floor, but I only have so much time after work. Thankfully we've got the light, so we managed to get it done, even though it got dark. Our measurements were within 1mm, about as good as my eyesight could see with a measure of where we should be with the measurement, so really happy. When I put it in, we were about 1/4 of an inch out, with a bit of a twist on it, but after a good bit of measuring, a bit of shuffling around, we got it set up and got it nice. So we've just got a couple of clamps on the back, and we're all spot welded in. So really happy how the spot welder works. It made a huge difference, just the no grinding at the end, the no drilling of holes, because there's anyone who's drilled a mini cell, the amount of holes you need to drill and how awkward it is to drill them holes and then to weld it and then have to grind it back, it's an absolute nightmare. But with a spot welder it's just a breeze. Obviously you just got to make sure that your preparation's right or you won't get a decent weld. Right guys, so we'll see you in the next one, where hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have a toe board or ready to go in. If not, we'll be cutting out this section and seeing what's going on in here, seeing if this Cabriolet reinforcement is any good for saving. As you can see, there's a hole up here. This is where another one of the reinforcement plates goes. This one goes to the outside and then ties up to this steel bar which runs up the length of the air post. So anyway, yeah, that's what we'll be doing in the next one. More than likely having a look in here, see what's going on in here. We may get on to cleaning the back up, but I doubt it. It'll be more at the front, and keeping our fingers crossed that this toe board gets here pretty sharpish, and then we can get that thrown in as well. Once we get that in, get them inner wings on, down to the back end on. Sounds so simple. Anyway guys, enough rattling. Probably all got to go to work in the morning, so we'll see you guys later. You all enjoy yourselves. Take care. Bye.